has its ups and downs. Okay, I know that might sound like a very overused line, but I mean it quite literally. Berkeley is very hilly. The first time I came to UC Berkeley for freshman orientation, we walked around campus so much that my legs were sore the next day. I was kind of shocked because all I did was walk around. Entering college, they all say Berkeley will be much harder than high school, and it's true. But little did I know that even the walking portion of it would be harder over here too. I mean, somehow Berkeley found a way to level up something as simple as walking. So when classes started up, I hit the ground running, or rather, I hit the ground walking, speed walking to be exact. This semester, we've all probably spent a lot of time Zooming to meetings. But at the very beginning, we were Zooming from building to building. When I first started at Cal, I used to arrive at class 15 minutes before the hour. Keep in mind, that's 25 minutes before Berkeley time. For those of you who aren't as familiar, Berkeley time just means that everything at Cal begins 10 minutes after the official start time. Soon, I came to realize, in the Berkeley world, entering the classroom on the hour is considered early. But with this new knowledge of what Berkeley time was, I had a tendency to snooze my alarm. One day, I opened up my eyes, glanced at my clock, and it read 8 o'clock. Class was set to start in Pimentel at 8:10, and I was still in my pajamas. But to make the situation worse, the professor I had gave eye clicker questions at the start of lecture. And these clicker questions were for points. That day, I did what Berkeley taught me to do best. I speed walked. Up the hill I went, calves burning, hair thrown up in a messy ponytail, eye clicker in my hand, with fingers hovering over the clicker buttons, ready to be pressed the moment I walked into lecture. At Berkeley, we come prepared. The building was always 10 degrees warmer than the outside morning air. The sudden temperature difference always made me sweaty, and I constantly tried to take control of my lungs to pretend like I wasn't breathing as hard as I was. But as my hand was tugging the door, eye clicker in one hand, door knob in the other, the professor's words rang, "All right, class, I'm going to close the question." I hadn't even finished opening the door. I didn't even get to see the questions. My fingers fumbled over the buttons as I clicked a random answer. I figured shooting your shot and missing is better than not trying at all. So I clicked B. B for Berkeley. And it is my great pride and joy to tell you that I got the question right that day. So as you go out into the world, if you ever feel like you're running behind, if you encounter moments of struggle, or if you're feeling stuck, remember this lesson. Always give effort and chase after opportunities despite the chance of failure. Do not fear failure or judgment. Embrace the fact that you might not get it right. And when in doubt, fall back onto the knowledge, the lessons, and the intrinsic values that Berkeley has instilled in us. Berkeley was definitely there to support my answer choice selection that day. Thinking back to the moment when I got that clicker question right, I realized that our goals are not necessarily achieved through singular big and glorious events. The most important moments are the little ones. The summation of daily activities and small realizations, the jokes we share with friends, and the achievements through which we overcome fear and circumvent regret. With the blink of an eye, we often end up at graduation and think, how did we get here? The secret lies in recognizing 10-minute memories, the equivalent of one Berkeley time. If you look at 10-minute snippets of the past 4 years, you've probably covered enough ground to have finished a marathon or 2, or 20. You've figured out how to avoid flyers on Sproul and learned the speediest shortcut to class. Perhaps you've made best friends with someone simply through the random chance of choosing a seat. Think of all the friends you have made now that you didn't even know when you started here at Cal. Maybe you've gone to class early to see if your crush got there early too, just so you could chat with them. Perhaps you might be dating them now, engaged, married? Or on the flip side, maybe you've sat outside the classroom in VLSB trying to finish a homework set you totally forgot was due that day. Maybe you accidentally hit the snooze button on your alarm clock for your 8 a.m. or for your 12 p.m. Maybe you went to the library to study, just to wake up from your nap, with an embarrassing imprint of your watch on your forehead. I have to admit, some of these experiences are my own experiences. It's easy to forget these little moments. But these 10-minute memories are exactly what got us to where we are today. I want to end off with another story. It was the third Monday of March, hot and sunny outside. I speed walked up the hill for my morning class. It was the last day of in-person classes. I just didn't know it yet. I hiked up from Southside, but this time past Pimentel, to a building twice as far. Up the hill I went, hair thrown up in a messy ponytail, and I arrived to class just on time, sat down. But when looking back, what I now realize is that my calves weren't burning. I wasn't sweaty, I wasn't breathing hard, and it wasn't because I was pretending not to. I knew exactly where to go, when to leave, and how to get there. I didn't even give it a second thought. What I'm trying to say is that over the past 4 years, your time at UC Berkeley has shaped you in ways that you might not even recognize. Yes, maybe it shaped some of us into shape in the most silly of ways, but more importantly, it has also shaped our minds, our intellect, our passions, and our future. Little by little, in ways so slight that it might be hard to pick out, we have inevitably made large strides forward. When we look at the summation of our small moments, I want you to remember, failure of a few will not leave a hole in our journeys. But not pushing forward small step by small step may halt our journeys altogether. As we go out into this world and hold greater aspirations, find people who inspire you. Hold on to the friends who support you. Approach the world with resilience and kindness, and let there be light. And most importantly, don't forget to thank those who have helped us get to where we are today. Thank you, parents. Thank you, brothers and sisters, professors and mentors, and everyone listening today. As we walk this stage, the virtual Blockley one or the Berkeley one, and as we move into the next stage of life, I challenge you to be proactive with the next 10 minutes, as well as every other 10-minute time frame of your lives. Although we are physically apart, we will forever be united by our shared experience of having graduated during this unprecedented time. So wherever in the world you might be, throw your cap high into the air, as high as you can, baseball cap or graduation cap. Move the tassel, real or hypothetical, from one side of your head to the other. Soak in the feelings, the joy, the humility, the love. Soak in what you have just accomplished, because this might just be a 10-minute memory that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Congratulations, graduating class of 2020. We made it, and go Bears!